Aggressive laboratory monkeys infested with herpes have escaped in a crash. Japan is sending in the troops to help stop the bear attacks. And a woman is arrested for stabbing her husband with a ceramic squirrel. These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast that we got going, and we got it going for you. So please hunker down and enjoy this episode of Weird AF News. Aggressive monkeys with herpes are on the loose in Mississippi after a truck overturned. The story's out of Jasper County, Mississippi. A truck that was hauling some laboratory monkeys has overturned, and the monkeys are on the loose. My first question is, how smart are these monkeys that they got a truck driver's license in the first place? These must be some amazing experimental monkeys. What are they doing in the labs making these intelligent monkeys? Great, now I got to worry about losing my job to some smart-ass monkeys. I was already concerned I'd lose my job to the AI. All right, no more monkeying around. Let me get back into the details because this could be life or death for some of you if you happen to be living in Mississippi. We have a truck that was hauling laboratory monkeys. It overturned on Tuesday at 8 p.m., and some monkeys are still on the loose, they say. I think I've seen this movie before. Wasn't it called Outbreak? The laboratory monkeys get loose and they bite a human, and then a disease is spread, and then it becomes Armageddon or Monkeygeddon. So just buckle up for that incoming pandemic. 3, 2, 1, yay. Okay, according to the Jasper County, Mississippi Sheriff Randy Johnson. Oh, Randy. How many teeth do you think Randy has? Mississippi Sheriff Randy Johnson. 4 teeth? I'm going to over-under 4 teeth. He says the truck was hauling some rhesus monkeys from Tulane University to a testing facility when it overturned. Oh, it's from a university. I thought it was RFK Jr.'s Ford Explorer. I thought he was transporting his laboratory monkeys. Now, Sheriff Randy Johnson reported of the 21 monkeys that were in the truck, 3 aggressive monkeys are on the loose. Oh no, how aggressive are these monkeys? Are they biting tourists or just insisting on taking selfies with the locals? All right, let me keep reading, and we'll gather clues and see if we can anticipate the monkeys' next moves. Are they going to start their own church in Mississippi? Let's find out. On one positive note, though, the presence of the monkeys in Mississippi has actually improved the overall IQ of the state. All right, I'm going to break down the numbers one more time here. They get very specific. There was 21 monkeys on the truck. 5 are dead as a result of the crash. 13 of the monkeys are in custody. So they're filling out paperwork right now, and 3 are missing. The concern of these monkeys is that they are aggressive, and they may have herpes, which is probably not a big concern because everyone in Mississippi already has herpes, from my understanding. Oh, man, I'm just rolling on Mississippi today. Why not, though? Why not? All right, let's see what the sheriff says on how to react to the monkeys. I'm sure they passed out some free condoms to the residents. The sheriff says... This is Randy with the 4 teeth. Do not approach the monkeys. Call 911 immediately if you see the monkeys. Is that all you got, Randy? You might want to tell your community also, do not do the monkeys. Don't do them. Don't do those monkeys. You could catch a little something if you do the monkeys. Now, Tulane University, who apparently owns these crazed monkeys, has confirmed they're going to send a crew to pick up the monkeys that are still caged on Wednesday. That's today. Tulane does say, though, that the monkeys aren't infectious. Here's a statement from them. Non-human primates at the Tulane National Biomedical Research Center are provided to other research organizations to advance scientific discovery. The primates in question belong to another entity and are not infectious. We are actively collaborating with local authorities and will send a team of animal care experts to assist as needed. Are we supposed to believe for 1 second that these monkeys aren't infectious? That's something a university would say had they lost some infectious monkeys. Now, I went and cherry-picked another article here to get some more information. This is important. Officials say the monkeys weigh 40 pounds each, are aggressive toward humans, and require personal protective equipment to handle the animals. And because the crash happened on the I-59 highway, they're saying to beware if you're driving on I-59. There could be monkeys. Monkeys with herpes, watch out. Honey, I didn't cheat on you. I was on my way to work and I was attacked by a monkey, I swear. A monkey with herpes. I keep saying the monkeys have herpes. The school states emphatically that the monkeys are not infected with herpes, or at least they weren't when they were placed in the truck. But now they've been running around Mississippi for a while, so chances are they do have herpes and love NASCAR.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Japan is sending in the troops to help stop bear attacks. With the number of people in Japan being killed by bears reaching a record nationwide, the Defense Ministry is preparing to send the military to one particularly badly hit area in order to stop the bears from attacking the humans. Oh, yes, this sounds very serious, and this has to stop. I mean, we're already running out of Japanese people as it is. They're not having any babies, as you know, so they got to get a hold of this bear situation. The article says the horror stories are everywhere in Japan this fall. Bears breaking into supermarkets, bears killing farmers, bears attacking and eating workers at a hot springs resort. More than 100 people, in fact, have been injured by bears in Japan this year. 11 have died, which is a new record. Now the government is preparing to dispatch the military to one hard-hit area in order to help deal with the problem of bear attacks. Sounds like they're going to bear arms against the bears. Hey, when you guys are done with the bears, why don't you help us with the monkeys? We got, or send the monkeys to fight the bears. Wow, problem solved. Now it says these troops will be sent to Akita Prefecture in Japan. This is in the northern mountains region. The Ministry of Defense said this yesterday. They're going to help set traps and dispose of the carcasses of dead bears. The troops who were requested by the officials are not expected to kill any bears. That task will be left to local hunters only. All right, so the troops aren't just going to start blasting the bears. They're going to set some bear traps, it sounds like. That was the end of that article. I pulled up another one for some more info. This one says, the Defense Force is being mobilized to combat a growing population of aggressive bears in the country's north after the body of a woman in her 80s was found in a ditch on the outskirts of Akita City on Monday. She is one of 10 people killed by the bears since April, surpassing last year's national toll of 6, adding to the 73 people injured or killed in Akita this month alone. All right, in addition to the 10 people killed, 100 attacked this fall, there have been upwards of 1,500 bear incidents nationwide in 1 week. Recently, a bear cub attacked a Spanish tourist. Well, it's not like the Japanese care about the lives of tourists. They can't stand them. Now, another thing that's going on is the rise of bear attacks has prompted new shooting rules in Japan. They have forced the government to relax rules on emergency shootings in populated areas amid concerns over whether municipalities can secure hunters skilled enough to respond to bear attacks without putting residents at risk. Oh, it sounds like they took a page out of Florida's book. Remember when the Florida governor told everybody to shoot the crack bears? Just arm yourselves against the crack bears. They even changed the law saying that if they just find a dead bear anywhere near you, you're in the clear. That's whether or not the bear tests positive for crack or not. All right, I found some bear survival tips that were released in Japan because of these encounters, which they claim are generating almost daily headlines in Japan. Now, these come from experts, and they're not only pertinent to Japan, but, I mean, you might encounter bears where you live. I don't know if I have listeners in bear areas. Maybe I even have some bear listeners. I'm not sure. If you're a bear listener, you can just laugh at this, I assume. The consensus is that anyone finds themselves face-to-face with a bear should avoid eye contact and sudden movements. You should back away slowly back away without turning your back on the bear. They should not attempt to run. Don't try to climb a tree. These feats bears perform with greater speed and agility than you could ever dream. If a mauling by a bear seems inevitable, if you're about to be mauled, experts advise victims to lie on the ground face down and protect their heads and necks. So just, in other words, take it like a man. Now, other preventative measures include carrying a bell or a whistle while you're walking, staying in groups, since bears rarely approach multiple people. Bear repellent spray is considered the most effective precaution, but is not easily available in Japan. The list of don'ts includes hiking at dusk and dawn when bears are at their most active, and never to discard food or other rubbish. There are an estimated 44,000 Asian black bears in Japan, found in many areas, but particularly in the north. Changing behavior among Japan's large and growing bear population is thought to be behind the surge in incidents recently, particularly in Hokkaido and other regions in the north. Hungry bears have been spotted in towns and villages, places they were once reluctant to roam, amid a decline in harvests of acorns and beech nuts. This is according to experts. There's also evidence that warmer climates caused by the climate crisis are forcing the animals to hibernate later than usual, which raises the likelihood of an encounter, they say. Well, if you live in the north, it sounds inevitable that you're going to have a bear encounter of some sort, so maybe you should hibernate yourself until winter when the bears hibernate. Yeah, just stay inside, smoke weed, and stare at your fantasy football lineups like I do every day. It's a very safe activity. A woman is arrested after stabbing her husband with a ceramic squirrel. This is another dangerous animal story, just not of the live kind. A woman stabbed her husband with a ceramic squirrel. Let's find out what transpired to bring about this very unique domestic altercation involving a ceramic squirrel, which could be a family heirloom, which just raises the stakes. The story is out of Charleston, South Carolina. A woman was charged after the police say she stabbed her husband with a ceramic squirrel. It all happened because of an argument over some beer. Over beer, okay. What did I expect? This is South Carolina. You get an argument over beer leads to a stabbing. Stabbing of your domestic partner. It's stories like this that remind me of how much crossover there is between the intelligence in South Carolina and the intelligence in Mississippi, and how they're all just branches from that one big Florida tree. Now, we got a woman named Helen Williams, 44. This is the wife. She's charged with criminal domestic violence of a high and aggravated nature. A high and aggravated nature. No. If you're going to commit criminal domestic violence, you should commit it at the low and chill nature, not the high and aggravated nature. You're going to do more time for high and aggravated. According to the report, the police were called to a home after midnight where a wounded 41-year-old man had gone to a neighbor's home to call 911 after the alleged attack by his own wife. Officers noted that there were scratches on the man's face and a large amount of blood smeared across his upper body and down his arms. A deep cut marred the man's shoulder and chest. Now, when the police questioned the wife, Helen Williams, about the incident, she reported that her husband merely fell down and accidentally cut himself. He just fell down the stairs, landed on a ceramic squirrel. You know how that can be. Her hands and her clothes, however, were also covered in the husband's blood. She denied that the blood belonged to the husband. And now we're about to get into the motive of the squirrel stabbing, and I'm sure it's going to make some real sense when we break it down. The husband told the police that he walked to a store earlier in the night to buy beer for him and his wife. However, the store was closed. The wife grew angry that the man returned home without any beer, so that's when she grabbed a ceramic squirrel and hit the man over the head out of anger. So it sounds like she struck him over the head with the squirrel first. It says then the wife stabbed the husband in the shoulder and chest with the ceramic squirrel. Wow, this lady seems really nutty. Nuttier than squirrel poo, if I do say so myself. Well, I mean, you got to have your head checked if you're using a ceramic squirrel as a weapon. I mean, why not use a katana sword like a normal individual would use against their husband for not bringing back beer on time? Oh, by the way, do you know that the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a ceramic squirrel is a good guy with a ceramic squirrel, or a good guy with a wooden coyote, or a good guy with a Honda Accord? Get it? Because they run over squirrels? All right. It says the husband here was transported to the local hospital for treatment. Williams, the wife, is being held at the county jail. I wonder if they're going to try and make it work. I mean, are they going to go home and listen to a Phil Collins song and just have a pot pie and pretend like none of this happened? Oh, here's a photo of her. She looks real proud. She's like, I finally put that ceramic squirrel to use. It's been collecting dust. It was one of the worst Christmas gifts I ever got, but here it is coming in handy in this very special moment. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode of Weird AF News. This is the host, Jonesy. I just want to tell you I appreciate your time. I'm going to keep this outro brief as can be. If you'd like to email me, my email is funnyjones@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram at funnyjones. Feel free to send me a message. Say hello, introduce yourself. And if you'd like to support the show, go to weirdafnews.com and you can buy a coffee or join the Patreon. Joining the Patreon is a great way to really stay in touch and join a very exclusive club of weirdos, fans of the show. It's a nice little community in there, and I put extra weird content in there as well. So anyways, I'm done selling you on this sort of thing. Keep on keeping on, right? Is that what they say? Keep on keeping on, and be good to yourself, all right?